Okay, folks, let's check out the 2020 virtual studio tour here at Lindsay Epstein Pottery. Here she is now.
Oh, hi. Welcome to the studio. I'm Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay.
I make all this stuff.
Do.
Yes.
It's very beautiful.
Right here in Tiverton, Rhode Island.
Why don't you tell me something about what you make?
Well, I make 3 different types of work. One is crystalline glazed porcelain, all over here. 2, raku horse sculptures. And if you look behind you, I make functional pottery.
Oh, like coffee cups?
Yes. Coffee cups, bowls, mugs, berry bowls, horse mugs, fish mugs.
What are
pig
these
mugs.
things with the holes in them?
These are berry bowls, a very popular item for the summer of 2020.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the galaxy blue color, also shown here in the mug, and other bowls.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Are these dishwasher and microwave safe?
They sure are.
Very nice. Tell me more about these fancy things.
So the crystalline glazed porcelain is when I grow zinc crystals on the piece during the firing process. So this thing here, this is a zinc crystal, which is grown in the kiln. So I don't place the crystals anywhere in particular on the piece. I really have no idea what it's going to look like when it comes out of the kiln, except for what color I want it to be. And other than that, it's a surprise every time. So I mean, these are the same glaze, but they look different.
They look very similar, actually. But I know what you mean, the patterns would vary.
Patterns are different. The same as the plate. So I can't predict where they're going to go. I just know what color I want it to be. Or I hope I want it to be because I made the glaze correctly. So I have a lot of vases and mugs and different shapes. I have some jars.
Now, normally, there'd be a lot of people here today coming in and seeing all the work and buying things because the studio tour runs in July and August every year. But this year,
But not this year. We had tried to do an August and September tour. We couldn't based on the new travel restrictions between Massachusetts and Rhode Island. So we are here instead set up virtually. And all of this work, or most of the work, is available online on my Etsy shop. So you can head over there and purchase directly. Or if you see something that you want, just let me know and I can take more pictures, show you a close-up of it if you'd like.
or
Or
you can make an appointment.
you can make an appointment to come on in to Tiverton, into the studio.
And that way it'll limit the amount of people and you'll know specifically when they'll be here
Yes,
and everyone can be protected
yes.
and aware. Very good. Well, the work is beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, there's a rumor around town that says you make all this stuff yourself.
I do.
Oh, yeah? Prove it.
Okay. So I have my piece of clay, and I just want to wedge it a little bit. It's kind of like kneading dough. And I wedge it to get all of the clay particles in alignment. Clay particles are like little flat hexagons. And by wedging it, I get all of the particles to start to get aligned. You don't need to do too much because it's straight out of the bag. Then I'm going to plop this down on my wheel, putting it on a bat, which is a wooden thing that's round.
Yes, bats are wooden and round.
These bats are. And now I am centering the clay in the center of the wheel. So you can see it's kind of lopsided. And I'm basically just pushing the clay down and bringing it back up again into a cone. And this is called coning up. The cone is up, and then we push back down. Probably gonna do that one more time.
And what does that do?
Centers the clay. All right, there we go. So that's good. Now I'm gonna open the clay up and press with my thumb down into the center of the clay. And then I'm gonna push down and pull towards me. And that creates kind of a flat bottom, just like that. And then I'm gonna go back and forth a few times with my fingers to make all of those little clay hexagons lie down onto the bottom, because I want the bottom to be flat and I don't want it to crack. And then this tool that I'm using right now is called a rib, and it's just a little piece of wood cut into different shapes, and I have a lot of different ribs.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Have those ribs evolved over time, or are they all basically the same shapes?
There are lots of different shapes. These are my two favorite shapes. I mean, everybody has their favorites. Some people like ones that are just more rectangles, like this one. But I have a whole bunch of different ones depending on what shape I'm going to be making. And some are made out of wood, some are plastic, some are metal. It just kind of depends on what, like this one's either for something tall, but it's really good for bowls that are low and wide. So now that I've made this basic shape, I'm gonna pull up. So I'm pressing from my inside hand into my outside fingers, and I'm going up at the same time.
How come it's so wet?
You need water in order to let the clay move around your fingers. Otherwise, it would catch and snag.
Stick and snag and pull and...
Yeah.
Ah.
So I just did a little first pull. So I got a lot of clay down here at the bottom. And I want to bring all of that up. So that was one. And it's kind of a balance. You don't want the clay to be super wet, otherwise it will get too sloppy and it won't be able to hold its shape. But you need it wet enough so that it slides through your fingers. So I'm just kind of getting the basic outline of my shape for this vase here. I gotta wet more of my arm so I can get my hand inside. Sometimes with pottery, when I'm making stuff, I beat myself up in this stage trying to get it to look a certain way and be perfect, and then I'm really frustrated, and then the next day I'll trim it and I'll look at it and go, wow, that really looks pretty good.
Sometimes you gotta just get to a point and stop.
Yeah. So this tool is used to cut away some of the clay. And I recycle all of these little scraps and stuff, everything that's in this bucket here. I let dry on some plaster. Once the bucket fills up, I mix it with a big mixing drill and then let it dry for about a week, and then some of the water evaporates and it's reconstituted. then I'm ready to use the clay all over again. Alright, so that's going to be good enough for today. And then tomorrow I will be turning it upside down to trim, and we'll finish it up. I hope that you can join us tomorrow. I will be showing you some brand new crystalline pieces that are in the kiln right now and cooling down, so they will be unloaded tomorrow. The studio is set up like this. I'll be set up through the end of September, so you can make an appointment to come by and visit the studio if you are local. And if you're not local, you can always shop online and I will ship the item to you, or you can do studio pickup and I'll have it ready for you on the porch. So check back in tomorrow, and I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to wear your mask and stay 6 feet apart.